Ronald Green. Ronald Green, I believe is his name. I'm speechless, and I just felt compelled to get on here and share this. So, in a nutshell, I posted the link to one of the news agencies. I think MSNBC or somebody like that did a story on this black man that was murdered by Louisiana State Police over 2 years ago, and the Louisiana State Police has been caught covering up the fact that they murdered this man. You have to watch the story and just watch that little newscast, and it's pretty informative. It has video and such. But after watching what little they showed, it's apparent that this is another case of police officers murdering someone and then lying about what happened and then getting caught years later because of journalists, activists, family, and others who just won't give up on finding the truth. Sadly, this is not the first time it's happened. Many years ago, a man by the name of Laquan McDonald in Chicago was shot 16 times in his back by a police officer. And they initially said that he lunged at them with a knife. And for over 2 years, that is exactly what everybody thought. Until, just like in this case in Louisiana, through the persistence of activists and people like that seeking the truth, and a city employee who saw what happened and saw murder being covered up, the video got released of what happened. And the day that they released the video of them shooting that man 16 times in his back, that very same day, they charged the officer with murder. And he was convicted. So all you bootlickers out there, this one ain't for you. Because your daddy got convicted. Laquan McDonald, the police officer, you know, your daddy got convicted. Jarrett Chauvin, your other daddy, got convicted. So bootlickers can just shut up about this. Okay, your boy got convicted. They murdered and they got convicted. Now here we are. Louisiana murdered a man over 2 years ago, would not release any information about what happened. And let me tell you, so he ran from the police in a car. He ends up at the emergency room dead. The police tell the emergency room doctor that he died on impact. Turns out the doctor examined the body, and yeah, there were injuries consistent with dying on impact from a crash, except that there were 2 taser prongs still in his back. The police did not mention any use of force, anything. They said he died on impact in the crash, and they forgot to take the taser prongs out of his back, and the doctor wrote, "This doesn't add up," in his doctor notes. These murderers forgot to take the tasers out of his back and tried to tell the doctor that he died on impact. They knew exactly what happened, and now, finally, the video's been leaked, and we got to see what happened. When you watch the video, close your eyes for a second, if you can, and just listen and think, is this any different than what happened in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s? Whenever a black man runs from the police, listen to the officers when they get out and they approach his car. Same thing, they just changed some of the words that they use. They treated him like the dog that they viewed him as. Ronald Green, Louisiana State Police. They just got caught murdering somebody. I watched a movie one time called Mississippi Burning. I'd be okay with a sequel called Louisiana Burning. And on that note, I want to say one last thing. Something that I've noticed, just a personal observation. There were fires set and things burned after George Floyd's murder. All across this country, there were fires set. Remember when all that was going on every day, all day, all night? That's what we heard about, right? And we were so upset, doing everything we could to see that it stops. Let me tell you something about fires. I think the problem, or part of the problem, is that the police abuse, and in this case, and in George Floyd's case, and in Laquan McDonald's case, those were the equivalent of big old briskets. And here's the deal. If you want to cook a brisket, you got to build a fire. And the fire has to be hot enough. And it has to be exposed to the brisket long enough for the brisket to be fully cooked. But I think there's a bunch of folks, they don't really want to cook the whole brisket. They just want to cook a little piece for themselves. So the fire that they use is really small, just enough to cook a size about the size of your thumb. That's all they want. They don't want to cook the whole brisket, because building a fire like that is much harder. And it takes a lot more work to cook a whole brisket. So selfish people get there, or maybe people who just, I don't know what it is. If they're selfish, if they're lazy, maybe it's because it's not happening directly to them. They care. I'm not saying they don't care. They care, but not enough to make it stop. And they only light a little bitty fire, and they cook their little piece of brisket. And at the end of the day, little pieces are missing from the brisket, but there's still a big old slab of brisket there that remains. And that brisket is police abuse, right? If the fire is not hot enough and the brisket is not exposed to the fire long enough, it's never gonna get cooked. I'm speechless in a sense after seeing learning about this murder in Louisiana by the Louisiana State Police, murdering this black guy. And it doesn't matter, black guy, white guy, it doesn't matter. In this case, it's another black man murdered by police. If that makes you uncomfortable, go away. If you're a subscriber and it makes you uncomfortable, I don't care if you've donated me money. Email me, let me know what you donated, and let me know that me talking about racism and cops murdering black people bothers you, and I will refund you double on the condition that you go away. That's how I feel about it. Y'all pay attention to this Ronald Green thing, and if you're going to light a fire, light it hot enough. Light it hot. Thank you for watching. Go to the my community page. I posted a link to the video that one of the news agencies done to it. I'm not promoting any particular news agency. It's just a link that was sent to me. Please get out there and check that out. Yeah, so anyway, let me look at some comments. I'm fired up, man. This really, really bothered me. Man, let me see here. Let me go through real quick and see if there's anything that stands out to me, and then I'm going to have to go. Somebody said there was 3 more in Tacoma charged with murder and manslaughter. Yeah. I mean, no doubt the fires are being lit, right? And things are being accomplished. Much more, I think, today is being accomplished than what has been over history. Unfortunately, we're at a point right now where these murderers, these officers that abuse people, they're so used to getting away with it that they're still doing this stuff. And they think they can lie, cheat, steal, and then tell a story about what happened, a lie, and that everybody is going to believe them. And that's slowly changing. If you want to cook a brisket over a week, turn the fire down. If you want to cook it a little faster, turn the fire up. Apply the appropriate pressure, apply the appropriate fire, and man. Unqualified immunity. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Not only are they so used to everybody just believing what they say, but, you know, they have so many protections in place that they actually believe that they can commit murder and get away with it. I mean, any idiot knows when you commit a murder, I mean, you're going to leave something behind. You're going to get caught. You're going to get investigated. You're probably going to get caught. I get it. Some people don't get caught. Whatever. I'm talking about, look, you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, but these guys actually think that they can still do these things. Look, if you're a cop out there and you want to abuse people and you want to murder people, buy you a PlayStation or a Xbox and do it at home. Because it's getting harder and harder and harder for you to do it and not get caught. And right now, there's more and more and more and more people lighting more and more and more fires and becoming less scared of you. Aaron Queen says, we can see the fire in you, Jack. Keep up the good work. Man, this stuff fires me up. Is it going to happen to me? No. I could go through life. Look at me. Look at me. As disgusting as it is, I can honestly say I could go through life and not have one problem with police. I don't have to worry about police stopping me, harassing me, wondering why I'm sitting in my car doing nothing, why I'm sleeping in my car, why I'm hanging out here or hanging out there. I don't have to worry about that. So why does this stuff bother me? The same reason it should bother you. Unless you're okay with people murdering people. I don't like bullies. You want to murder a man? You want to hurt a man? You want to walk up to him face to face on an equal level and do what you got to do? Fine. But for you to walk up with your buddies and point guns at somebody and put handcuffs on them and beat them, you're scum. You're scum. You're a coward. That's what cowards do. That's what bullies do. And you're scum to me. So, and if you ever want to try to figure out why I don't like a particular person who happens to be wearing a badge, and why I'm giving them so much hell and others I don't give hell to, it's because I have seen something that tells me that they are coward bullies and they're scum to me. I actually treat them way better than scum need to be treated. So anyway, I'm going to take off going. You can do this too. All it takes is persistence. I'm the most hated dude around this area of San Antonio when it comes to bad cops. They hate my guts. And there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's some good cops too, but let me tell you, there's a lot of bad cops around here. And they hate my guts. They cannot stand me. That's why I was arrested so many times and never convicted and still won't be convicted. Because I don't break the law, but I get arrested all the times, and those are all bad cops doing it because that's all they can do. Well, yesterday, and I'll put out a video soon, there was a robbery. I'm just letting you know this because you could do the same thing. People say, oh, it's because you're white. No. I was getting arrested every other day. Remember when I first started this a couple of years ago? I was getting arrested every single day almost. Handcuffed every day. Arrested every other week. House raided. Beat. Injured. But I never gave up. I never toned it down or turned it down. I stayed persistent. And in the face of danger, I didn't plead out guilty to crimes I didn't commit. I didn't show weakness. I'm not going to show weakness because, frankly, I'm not weak. If you plead out to something that if you plead out to a crime that you didn't commit, I'm sorry, in my book, you're weak. I don't fight to lose. I fight to win. Even if I lose, I get to put my head down on my pillow at night and peacefully sleep knowing that even though I lost, I fought to win. I'm comfortable in my own skin, and that's what matters. Anyway, you could do the same thing. Stay persistent, stay brave, and understand it's not going to be easy. But anyway, yesterday, a call came in for a robbery in progress. Apparently, it sounded like somebody was trying to steal a car. I got there, I don't know, probably about 5-10 minutes after the cops showed up, and they had determined, and I didn't know at the time, they had determined that it was some kind of civil matter. Some guy had an agreement to pay for his truck at a car lot that he was a mechanic at. Then he got fired. He wanted his tools. There was a disagreement. They tried to keep the truck. He tried to drive off in it. And, the car lot called it in falsely as a robbery in progress. Well, anyway, long story short, there were 30 cop cars there, blocking the street, all over, basically just stopped where they stopped. And I was filming covertly. They did not know I was there. I was over by a house filming covertly, and I was talking to a group of people, explaining who I was, why I was there. And I told these people, I go, watch. As soon as they see me, they're going to scatter. And all I didn't move. All I did was raise up my phone and point it at them. And we all know when somebody does that, all the cops are going to look to see who's that asshole recording us. Well, they know who I am. And let me tell you, as soon as I raised my phone, as soon as they realized who I was, they all scattered. See, they were there having a little circle jerk. They were smiling. They were telling jokes. They weren't doing any police work. They were just hanging around. There was only maybe 2 or 3 officers that was actually dealing with the call. And the other 10 were just standing around in a group. I mean, if I spit at them, I would have hit all of them. And just basically jerking around. Wasting taxpayer dollars. Robbing the city. And while it's nice that they were all in one spot and not abusing anybody, they need to get their asses back on patrol. Well, anyway, I raise up my camera and they all scatter. They take off. Why? I could recognize most of them. Most of them were bad cops. And they knew what was fixing to come. Because I've never changed it up. Next thing I was going to do, if they didn't move, is walk over there and ask why the fuck were they standing around doing nothing. And then I would have keyed in on some bad cops and started giving them hell. Anyway, don't give up, guys. All right, let me go through the comments right quick because there was some more. Let me make sure there's none. Thank you, Jose Ramos, for the $9.99 super chat. Jose Ramos says, if the power of the government comes from the consent of the governed, why do not we revoke that consent? You have a good point, Jose. And, man, that's a deep one there. Right. So we revoked that consent through voting and voting on laws and voting against laws and for laws and against politicians and for politicians. But, that's a whole different topic, right? A whole different topic. Lobbying and money rules the day, man. Money rules the day. And, my own personal opinion, people were upset because people go burn down the Target and they loot the Walmart. And, look, money rules the day. And you think that money doesn't give a damn about Ronald Green being murdered and Louisiana State Police lying about it and covering it up. They don't care about this stuff because only these little fires are being lit all over the place, and all Walmart and places like that have to do is throw a little bit of water on the little fire in the form of a nice donation or a heartwarming commercial, and it puts the fire out. I have not seen yet a protest in America. I have not seen a protest in the United States that comes even close to what was done, in the 60s and such, relating to, Martin Luther King, Black Panthers, Malcolm X, so on and so forth. I haven't seen that today. That's not what happens today. It's getting there. It's getting there, but it's not even nearly close to what happened then. We need a 2021 equivalent of the civil rights era, because then some major things were changed. How do we get there? I don't know. I'm really probably not the person to be talking about that because I'm not an expert in that field. I'm just someone who has a fire lit underneath them and it's burning. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I think I got 2 super chats. Man, I'm fired up, and I need to say, hey guys, thank you. Witch Hunt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Witch Hunt says, keep it up. I certainly will. Man, I just came across this story today, and it really bothered me. Hey, I just want to let you know before I go, just because people are sending me emails, and I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to go back to my YouTube channel and figure out what's going on, but people are asking me how to donate. I got PayPal. It's txjack72@gmail.com. It's my PayPal. I got some GoFundMes out there. If you click on TX or type in Google TX Sheepdog 72 GoFundMe, and then also, those are the only 2 ways you can really donate to me. If you know my address, you can send something there, whatever. But I'll work on getting some more ways. I think some people were emailing me, telling me to get a P.O. box so they could send some checks, things like that. I'll get around to it. I appreciate the offers and stuff like that. It's not high on my priority list. I do appreciate the help, though. Everybody knows this stuff is not free. I did launch, though, and for those that don't have the money to give, and man, money's hard these days. If you don't have the money to give, you certainly can support me by, telling everybody about what I do, sharing, like, subscribe, watch, have people watch. I also launched on Facebook. If you're a Facebook user, at TXSheepdog72. Also, I'm on Instagram, and I'm gonna start working on posting more stuff there. And then also on TikTok. I finally did TikTok. If you guys could go there, follow. Yeah, right. So Witch Hunt says Patreon. I might start that up as well. I just really don't focus a lot on that, and I should. I know there's some people are emailing me all the time about, hey man, some people only use Patreon, and they're like, why don't you have a Patreon? I should have. I will. Thank you guys for watching. More to come. Light up Louisiana. Make the fire hot enough.